DZAR 1026 kHz Sunshine Radio. Kapartner mo sa balita at serbisyo. Maka-Diyos, makatao, at mapagmahal sa kalikasan.
Kalayaan at katotohanan sa Sunshine Radio.
Destination Advocacy. Destination Advocacy. Destination Advocacy. Isang oras na talakayan hinggil sa iba't ibang isyung dapat malaman ng taong bayan. Edukasyon, pagnenegosyo, usaping pangkapaligiran, kabataan at marami pang iba. Tayo na at lumipad. Narito na ang Destination Advocacy kasama si Capt. Irene Mora.
I was born to fly. My passion for adventure is as profound as my dedication to my mission. Crossing the limits of comfort zone, oblivious to challenges and limitations. I want to capture the heights of greatness by reaching out to a generation so they can fulfill their dreams. I relish the sense of awe knowing that a simple act of generosity can build bridges of hope, bringing to life a smile that will forever sparkle in the hearts of people. I'm Captain Irene Mora. Come, fly with me to my destination, to my advocacy.
Magandang Sabado ng hapon mga kapartner. Isa na namang panibagong oras ang ating tatalakayin hinggil sa iba't ibang isyong dapat malaman dito sa programang Destination Advocacy. Ako po si Captain Irene Mora. Ang Destination Advocacy ay tumatalakay hinggil sa edukasyong pagninegosyo, usaping pangkapaligiran, kabataan at marami pang iba. Ang Destination Advocacy ay mapapakinggan tuwing araw ng Sabado, alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon dito sa Sunshine Radio 1026 at live din nating mapapanood sa livestream via www.facebook DZAR 1026. Ngayon naman po, makakasama natin si Marlene Craig. Isa siyang radio host, facilitator, mentor, life coach in modern applied psychology. At isa rin siyang skin specialist, cosmetic, scientist, British section, skincare product developer, formulator. Our very own, very known host, Miss Marlene Craig.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon to you, Captain Mora.
Good afternoon, Marlene. It's been a long time. Thank you very much. We're here at your beautiful Skin Fitness by Marlene Craig at Facial Bath and Body Works. It's been a long time since we have seen each other.
I know.
And this time, thank you for welcoming Destination Advocacy. You're one of my mentors, you know.
Yes, and you're one of my idol.
Here's, when you think alike and you have a beautiful mind, now we are developing our Destination Advocacy every Saturday. Thank you for welcoming us. I know you're one of a good host. You're one of the person that I really look up to much.
Wow,
and I've read a lot of your bio data, and I want to ask you, with all your dedication in your life, Marlene, what do you love most in life?
Kung ano yung gusto ko at love ko in this life is the creation, the perfection of creation of God and its beauty.
I know you're not that very much kind of religious kind of personality, but you're one of the most spiritual personality I have met in my life. We have known each other for ages, and you still never age. You never fade. Your beauty from inside and outside. That's because of your body skin. You are a formulator of many different kind of products that have been known in the industry. I mean, tell us about that. And what's your biggest achievement in life?
Well, aside from, of course, all the academics that I have studied, my biggest, what?
Aside from raising
My
your two beautiful,
achievement.
aside from raising your two beautiful
Yeah,
daughters,
but that is my main greatest achievement in my life. To be able to raise two beautiful daughters and who are assets to the society.
to the society, they are very half Filipino, half American, and the other roots is half Danish.
Yes.
All right, you're really an international, and I love you being open, and you live different. You live in different part of the world. You've traveled so far, and still you decided to live in the Philippines, raising your two beautiful daughters. Which one I've heard is the summa cum laude of De La Salle University.
Oh yes, that's my youngest daughter, Zoe Michelle Godding. Yes, she had the summa cum laude in human bio,
Wow.
pre-medicine in
So
De
you
La
really,
Salle.
you raised really a very good daughter. And when I've heard that she was the summa cum laude of that psychology that inspired so much of my daughter that also wanted to be a doctor. And that's the reason why the connection there. I think your daughter has been an inspiration also to a lot of kids out there. And you are, as a mom, you're one of my idol. I've watched your DCRJ every Saturday, and you've been doing great. You mentoring many women, especially all those women that are depressed, single mom, and empowerment and building bridges of hope to so many women as of today.
Yes, that's one of my greatest advocacy, is to really empower women exponentially by teaching them emotional intelligence, you know. That's very important kasi mas importante yung EQ kaysa IQ. A lot of psychologists now say that it's better to teach our children how to be emotionally intelligent, because to be emotionally intelligent is more important than IQ, because you are able to relate with your emotions and behavior to yourself and relate with others. Kasi importante yan to be able to relate to yourself emotionally. You know, you are able to regulate, use, understand your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your behaviors.
Your confidence.
Before they become into bad actions or good actions. Kasi always what starts here goes into the heart, and what goes into the heart goes into an action or behavior.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'd like to tell the people, yes, I advocate na lahat ng women should be exponentially empowered. Kasi gasgas na yung word na empowerment, di ba?
Empowerment,
Kasi
yeah.
when you say, I am empowered, I broke up with my boyfriend. O kunwari ganun.
Right.
And sometimes say, wow, girl, you are very empowered. Naka-break ka na sa boyfriend mo. But then, you did not learn from that lesson, right? So you, again, go into a relationship, and again, the same problems because you are not emotionally
You're going in circle from time to
intelligent.
time.
That's why we have to teach them how to do about regulating and self-managing our emotion through knowing also our core values.
And what are those core values? What are the top 3 values, character traits that pave the way to where you are right now?
Yeah, first is, of course, my faith in God and faith in my capabilities through my core values, knowing who I am, what I am, and how I am at what I do. And I never waver through those core values, so that's very important to me, yung faith in myself and faith in God, of course. You know, I still believe in the higher power there. I'm not religious, but I still believe that there's a universal power out there who's guiding me,
us,
right?
yeah.
And then the second one is authenticity.
Yeah.
And authenticity meaning dapat walang plastikan, di ba? Sabi ng Tagalog, I would like to say it in Tagalog so the people who will be listening there, yung maging authentic ka, walang plastikan, di ba?
You're genuine to yourself.
Genuine, tapos yung tunay na pagkatao mo, pinapakita mo sa tao. Kasi yun ang nagko-connect sa tao. And one of the core values is authenticity towards connection. And connection is also very important kasi no man is an island. So authenticity in your connection is very important to make a good relationship, whether towards your family, towards your friends, towards your co-workers, and to your community. So yun yung, so is it 3? Authenticity, connection, and faith.
Okay, okay. And then tell us your story. Anyway, since you're a very, very strong kind of personality, you're very independent. I know I am also a good friend of your mom. And how is your mom doing right now? Is she in the Philippines? Is she somewhere in other planet at the moment? She's one of my adult as well. And
Yeah.
as a Filipino women empowered in the Philippines that has been there in that industry, you know, you mentor so many women, and I admire your mom too. How are you with her as a child?
Okay, first, yeah, my mom, your question. My mom is in the States. Hello, Mom, if you're watching. She's in Utah, Salt Lake City.
Hi, Mommy in Utah.
And yeah, she is really, I look up to her, and I am me because of many things that she has taught me as a kid, you know. Those three values that I told you, you know, I learned it from her. And she told me to be always believe in myself. And that's why I developed self-esteem, or not developed, but it's ingrained in me, self-esteem, because she told me you have to believe in yourself. You can be whoever you want and whatever you want in this life. And you can, and remember to always avoid mediocrity. Huwag yung commoner lang ng ginagawa ng buhay, but be the best version of yourself in any things that you do. So talking about that, she always, told me all these things that uplifts me, this mindset, growth mindset. And by the way, yung isa pang core value na gustong-gusto ko is freedom.
Freedom.
Because,
okay. Let's talk about freedom. How can you emphasize the freedom? Like when everyone is watching right now, so many people out there are totally lost in their life. And you as a life coach, you speak about freedom. Is it the freedom of choosing what you want to be in your life? I mean, there's so many specific reasons that you can emphasize as a life coach. You know, you're a psychologist. You've helped so many women that are lost out there. What is freedom to you?
To me, that's the number one core value that drives people to life or men to life. Yan yung napaka-importante. Kasi pag wala kang freedom to choose, to do or say in this world, then there's no other things that you can be confident about. Kasi so yung freedom, even before the value of integrity, loyalty, important yung freedom. That's why God gave us also the freedom to choose, you know.
Right.
Kasi
then that's where loyalty began.
yeah, if you are able to choose, for example, na what to say or who to be loyal to, diba? That your freedom is not fettered, hindi kinokontrol ng isang tao or isang tradisyon,
Yes.
or kahit
Constitution.
kultura.
Yeah.
Even culture sometimes control your freedom, right?
Correct.
Especially in the Philippines, we still have these traditional cultures that
Your enabler.
yeah,
They enable you to speak something when you want to speak and express something you want to express. And most culture in the Philippines, especially parents, they will suppress you, enable you
Correct.
to not speak.
Yeah. Di ho ba,
So-
lalo na sa probinsya, I grew up with that when I see my neighbors, my classmates, or I go to their homes and they say, do not speak when adults are talking. You're not allowed to express yourself. Wala kang freedom to say something, but you say yes, and then just analyze it yourself. So I'm so lucky as I ponder myself. That's why I say freedom is so important, because of my mom and my dad were divorced or separated, I was given the freedom to do or say or choose anything that is good for me without being told by anyone. So even my grandparents, because I'm from Ilocos, and we have conservative values there. So
say hello to all the Ilocos
yes,
people.
hello from Ilocos. So yung mga traditions natin na huwag ka magsasalita pag may mga matatanda, pag merong sinasabi sa'yo, oo ka lang. No, when my grandparents would say something and I think it's wrong, I would speak it nicely but in a good tone of voice. You know. So I learned in an early age na yung freedom ko na what school I should go to, what kind of friends I should have, or what time I should go home. It's all up to me. But then, thank God, because yung basic values na yung bata, umuwi ka ng 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, ang isang dalaga ay disente pag umuwi ng around 8, wag yung magpapagabi, and like that. I followed all that. So I tried to follow what's good.
And what's bad, and what's not good for you.
And the things that are not bad, I try not to do it. So that's why I gained respect from my grandparents, and that's why I was able to exercise my freedom, because they respected my choices, and they can see that based on my choices, I grew up as an honor student, as a decent teenager, until I grew up and do other careers in my life.
And that's why you've raised 2 beautiful girls as well. And who's your top 5 beautiful connections that inspired your way up there?
Yeah, okay. First of my mom, of course, right? She taught me a lot of things, a lot of core values in life. And yung the best na sinabi na is to avoid mediocrity and always be the best version of yourself. And follow your passion.
Follow what you love to do.
Yeah. And then I have a Cathay Pacific colleague.
Yeah, talking about that, you are an ex-flight attendant of Cathay Pacific. Of course, there's a connection between us as an aviator.
And
So
as
we
a
can
stewardess.
talk about never-ending topic about as an airline crew.
Yeah.
You were once a flight attendant, and you know when the world shut down, and the whole people out there lost their jobs, and they lost all their ability to fly, and you're lucky you've enjoyed all those years that you've traveled the world. You have that experience where you can really tell to a lot of aviators also as of today. You are a real mentor. Tell us about your experience at Cathay Pacific when you were there at once.
First, I was with Philippine Airlines, by the way. I spent 2.5 years as an airline crew or stewardess, or flight stewardess, they call it. And then after that, a friend of mine convinced me to go to Cathay Pacific, and that's how the world
Open
opened
to
up
you, yeah.
to you. So to me, I mean, so I was based in Hong Kong, and as a stewardess, I learned a lot. And you know, the exposure, especially during our time, during the late 70s, 78, 79, you know, only the few privileged could fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a different time zone during those times.
So being a stewardess at that time,
you got to be the best. You got to be the most beautiful. You got to be that high IQ to be a flight attendant. Nowadays, it's totally a different version of yourself. So what is the difference? What are the connections? No wonder you were friends. You understand the pilot and a flight attendants. Now we're talking right now at Destination Advocacy. Now you can now teach. You can now express, you can now, you know, let the whole world knows that the different time zone and the millennial as of today has a different kind of mentality already. But the values, the core values that you've learned as an employee, as a flight attendant, as a mentor of so many, those wanted to be a flight attendant and be in that career. You have been there. You live your life to the fullest, Marlene.
You know, you want to see the world, be a stewardess, you know. But again, in our time, being a stewardess was flying high, and it was esteemed, a highly esteemed job. And actually, most of the politicians and well-known celebrities married stewardesses then, during our time.
Back then.
Now it's...
Not anymore.
Now you have to be Mrs. Universe, or you have to be a top model or so. But then again, yes, going back to core values, you know, Jose Rizal, yung si ating...
Hero, one of a hero.
When I was studying the Jose Rizal subject in our school, sabi niya, you want to improve yourself and you want to really be educated, a lot of things in this world, you have to travel. So I put that in my head. So that's why I said, I want to be a stewardess. So I was taking medicine, pre-med at the UST, when I went to before I went to flying. I just accompanied my aunt. Sabi niya, magpa-check up siya sa Philippine Airlines. She let me sit down. And in that place where I was sitting down, were the stewardesses, and I saw beautiful girls. They were in cocktail clothes, and most of them were Binibining Pilipinas or Miss Philippines.
They were high caliber
Countess,
during this time.
and I was just in my pants. And then suddenly they gave me the application. I said, no, I'm just sitting down. I said,
You were not an applicant, but
but-
they thought you are.
But there's a story behind this. I was 5 years old. First time I flew in a plane going to Davao. I lived in Davao, by the way, at the age of 5 until 7. Nag-grade 1 ako doon.
Okay.
All right. So I was so stunned and amazed of the beauty of this stewardess in that plane. And I said to my mom,
Because you can see the pilots, you never thought of
and
want to be
also,
one.
and she's so beautiful talaga. So I told my mom, can I be like her, Mom? You think I can be beautiful and I be stewardess like her? And said, of course, anak. You can be whoever you want to be. And then you started singing, when I grow to be a lady, I'll be a queen. Sabi ko, Mama, I don't want to be a queen. I want to be a stewardess. So at that age 5, I already told myself I want to be a stewardess.
And you really made
And
it.
here again is opportunity in life. Sabi ni Oprah, nothing is luck. It's opportunity is a preparation for yourself to be one when an opportunity comes. So either sabihin ko, I cannot. Sorry, next time. I told her, next time po, I will come back. No, this is your time now. You never know when it's the... Mom, I have no makeup, nothing. I'm not dressed. I'm wearing my pants in rubber shoes.
But you have
But
that
then-
opportunity
Yeah.
to really
So
discover yourself.
now you have, when opportunity sa inyo ay naibibigay, kunin nyo kagad. You have to make your
Grab it.
decision right away. You grab that opportunity. So ang nangyari, so everybody had their turns, and suddenly, it's your turn now. I thought by that time my aunt will be there and I could run, right? And he said, don't worry, your smile. That's the Philippine Airlines smile. Just smile at the manager, you will get the job.
And you definitely get it.
The secretary. So I went there, and then, of course, they let me pull my pants to see whether I have clean skin and everything, and then give me that smile. And then I gave a smile. I said, then they said, that's true. She has that Philippine Airlines smile. And then, of course, they asked me one question lang. Yung, if the plane will crash.
What will
my
you do?
IQ na crash. And then your mother is there, and another passenger is there. You did a landing on the sea. Who will you save first? Then I said...
What did you answer?
So I said, the nearest person to me. If my mom is too far away, that I might lose my life too, then I'd rather save one first and save myself.
And that's where you got everything.
Yeah.
And that's where, that means IQ. Right, so when you get the
And
job
that's how I
from
became
Philippine
a
Airlines,
stewardess.
you
And then
started
after
living in Hong
that,
Kong.
I thought of Hong Kong because during our time, it's a place for shopping and fashion. So I want to be based in Hong Kong. So I joined Cathay Pacific Airways.
right.
And there, I learned so many things and different cultures. You know, when you fly to different
Yeah,
countries.
then you're working
Yeah,
with
yeah.
different nationality,
Yeah.
different culture,
And then you
different...
stay, during our time, we stay 7 days in first class hotel. So we get to know the place a little bit.
Absolutely, I know what you feel. Yeah, so
so learning different cultures, and that's how I become multicultural partly as a stewardess, because next now is my...
you... That's where when you meet your
I
husband.
met my
Fritz.
husband, Mr. Fritz Krag, in Hong Kong, which he gave
Speaking
me...
about Mr. Fritz, I really have his face in my mind, and may he rest in peace. How long was that ago when I was at the wake of your late husband?
2005, I think. I know, 2012. He passed
Wow, that was
away.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I was there. That's what I remembered. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Krag, your late husband, which you raised and had a beautiful daughter, Crazy, which is your model also.
My oldest is
Yeah.
Christiana Krag. That's my daughter with him, and who gave me the world in a silver platter, of course. And he opened the rest of the world for me.
world to you.
And I became more multicultured, and respecting.
How long have you been married with Mr.
And
Fritz?
made me respect the diverse backgrounds of people in this world. How long?
How long have you been married with him?
13 years.
So that's why you talk about life and everything. You talk about the experience. You talk about how you're going to handle your relationship with regards to marriage, with regard to relationship, because 13 years is a long time to someone you love, to be with someone you love and raise one daughter, and then he passed away. And then I think you get separated before he passed away.
Yeah, but at least I can say that I was married to a good husband and a good dad. So that's a good experience for me as a life coach now to be able to experience. And then, of course, the other person is Amy Edrelin, our common friend.
Oh, Amy, hi, if you are
Edrelin.
watching.
This
Yes, you
beautiful-
mentioned about Amy. I was talking to her when she was in New York. I think she was talking to me about that she's coming back to the Philippines. She will be in New York. She will be coming over here. And definitely we're going to have this other forum. So Amy Edrelin Cragon is the one who encouraged and inspired you to be back socializing in the upper society in our country again and appreciate connectivity to a lot of people out there. Tell us about your story. We have a very common friend. She's my best friend, and you are my
our
mentor. And tell us about that. I never knew that she's in your mind.
Yeah,
right
I met
now
her
as
in
well.
our church. So she was saying, "There's a woman that you should meet," because I was in travel agency. We had a travel agency company, and then she said, "You must meet this woman. She's a pilot. She's a owner of Irene Mora Air." I said, "Oh, really, really?" I said, "That's good," and that's how I started.
Opening
She
up
made
to
a
the
dinner or invited us, all of us, and then to get to meet you and others. And of course, another person is Ike Senieres, and he's the brother of the ex-ambassador Senieres. And he inspired me and gave me a chance to become an anchor on TV until, again, when...
You are at GNN channel.
Yeah, I was with GNN.
And thereafter,
Global News
radio
Network.
host and the co-producer of your radio station as of today.
Yes, and I was also co-producing with him there. So then I moved to RJ as a host in 2010.
Marlene, what's the most challenging part of your life and how did you overcome it?
Most challenging in my life is my financial fall during my divorce. That's a long story tell.
All right.
I don't want to wash,
So
but
all people that are divorced right
yes,
there.
it's hard, and sometimes money is the number one thing that will cause
The divorce.
the downfall. No, not the divorce.
The downfall of every relationship.
We had so much money with this guy. It's my second marriage. That's the dad of my second daughter. And he took everything.
And he was very good looking.
Very.
The
Yeah.
most good looking, like an actor man I have seen that you lived with someone too good looking at the time.
I know,
And you get divorced again. And he took all of your wealth and everything. How did you start your life again in order for you to overcome that failure?
Well, to me, as I told my daughter Zoe says, "Mama, I'm sorry that my dad did this to you." I said, "No, if I have to marry your dad again just to have a daughter like you, I'll do it again. Because I gain a lot of experience again, and I can use that in my psychology, my mentoring, and coaching. Because the first one was a good, perfect husband, perfect man, perfect provider, and here's the one who's a little bit not perfect, and he did harm. But he gave me a beautiful daughter.
Yeah, you are a very successful businesswoman at the time, but going into that failure, Marlene, going into that downfall, when someone lived with you, left a daughter with you, and took everything away from you, from your finances to your emotional to your mental, and it is draining. How did you overcome all the scenario of your life when you get into that?
Here comes the EQ. Pag meron kang emotional intelligence, diba, you can control your thoughts, your emotion, your behavior. You know, when people lose the people they love, you know, when they get so hurt, diba, the first thing they do is to go out, party, drink alcohol, or some even go to drugs, or even take sleeping pills, para just to forget. I could have done that, but because
still you stood
I
up.
thank God that time I was very spiritually in tuned. So I was just praying so hard. And of course, I always remember the core values that are inside me that I got it from my parents and grandparents, yung self-reliance. So very important na you have to still be self-reliant no matter what. And that's why I always tell the people that I coach na before you even get married, girls, be self-reliant. Kasi
Be independent.
yeah, you know, in the Abrahamic Maslow hierarchy of needs, importante yung biological needs are met. Tapos yung safety needs, meaning yung safety needs is also your financial safety. So, dapat self-reliant kayo bago kayo mag-asawa. Kasi like something happened like this. We all had the money in the world. He took it out. Wala na ako. Pati bangko namin, wala. So, I was left with just little money left. And I have a daughter
And you
to
have a
take care
daughter
of.
and you have to survive
And then,
and raise her.
divorce cases and like that. Mahal expensive yung maghihiwalay at saka yung mag-cut. So,
But it's also expensive and it's also a lot of struggle when you're living with someone you no longer love. You no longer understand each other. You no longer have that kind of understanding. And before we talk about that, mga kapartner, magbabalik po muli kami after ng isang break.
Kahit saan ka man, konektado ka sa mga pangyayari sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng DZAR 1026 Sunshine Radio Online. Para laging updated sa mga balita, bisitahin lang ang www.dzar1026.ph. I-follow din ang aming mga social media account sa Facebook at Twitter na DZAR1026. Dinig na sa buong mundo ang mga balita sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng online platform ng DZAR 1026 Sunshine Radio, kapartner mo sa balita at serbisyo. Patas na pagbabalita, tamang impormasyon, serbisyo publiko at pagmamahal sa kalikasan. Ito ang Sunshine Radio. Sunshine Radio 1026 Manila, kapartner mo sa balita at serbisyo.
Nagbabalik ang Destination Advocacy kasama si Captain Irene Mora.
Mga kapartner, nagbabalik na naman pong muli ang Destination Advocacy. Together here with Miss Marlene Craig. Dear, continuously to what we're talking about. Where we are, the challenge of what was the most challenging part of your life and how did you overcome it? You talk about overcoming it, being your self-reliant and self-independent. You've learned that from your mom, given that your mom is really one of my role model as well. I mean, I admire her very much. She's like a mother to me as well. But being a person who stood up after the divorce, your husband took everything away from you. Alam mo, it's so hard, Marlene, na yung isang nag-asawa tapos hiniwalayan ka, kinuha lahat yung mga bagay-bagay na pag-aari mo, asing zero ka. How did you overcome that and how did you manage to overcome and survive the hardest fall of your
you
life?
did not get everything naman. It was the money part lang.
Okay, money part is
part lang.
financial.
Yeah.
The most important part in our life is how are we going to survive? Iniwanan kanya with one child. Iniwanan kanya with everything. Pero there's a lot of men out there who did that. But a kind of woman like you and me are very independent. Can you please help our televiewers around the world? How are we going to be emotionally intelligent?
Yeah, so financial fall yung nangyari sa akin, ano. And because of the divorce, I have to pay lawyers, I have to pay, still my daughter was going education, and I had no money in the bank, hardly. So, but as a person, I never stopped working. That's why I educated myself, because my mom nga, sabi niya, you always have to be self-reliant. So I still have my skincare business, you know, and it was doing okay naman. So I was still able to take care. But then, don't you know that I had 4.5 million debt? I found out that my house state tax was never paid, ever, not by him or helped me pay by it. So I had to pay 4.5 million, and this was in auction already, you know. I was called by the city. Anyway, so, and then, there was not enough that I should be able to pay. So I sold my property, but still I had to use it to get by. So self-reliance, importante po yun. So, and that's what my mom always told me. Never depend on any man. Kasi pag iniwanan ka, hindi
You
ka...
crash totally.
Hindi ka maka-crash at hindi ka yung, wag mo kong iwanan. Yung magiging, they step on you, right? Yung apak-apakan ka lang. Wag. So, ako pa nga nagpa-impake ng damit niya. Kasi nagkaroon siya ng little Lucy on the side. So, inimpake ko yung damit niya, dinala ko siya sa lugar para matapos na and then mahiwalay.
You part
But anyway,
ways. You let it go.
so
You
this is
didn't.
what my mom always say na success in life is how many. It's not in how many times you make mistakes, but in how many times you get up and move forward, and get going. And that's always what I tell people. You know, get going, never give up, never. I mean, dekorasyon lang ang mga mistakes. You cry it out. I cried it out. But I told myself, my intelligent side of me, the emotional intelligent side of me, especially when my daughter said, Mama, why are you crying? He's just a want, not a need. I laughed from my car. She found out 4 a.m. in the morning, umiiyak ako malapit sa banyo. And then my daughter woke up, Mama, why are you crying? You don't need him. He's just a want, not a need. Nagtawa ako. Sabi ko, 9 years old, sinasabi, he's just a want, not a need.
How old is Zoe right now? She was talking in that time. She was 9 years old. She's now already a summa cum laude.
23 years old
She's
na.
23 years old, Marlene. You've raised her.
She'll be a doctor next year.
And she will be a doctor next year. Can be a very helpful to our society. Yun na yung sinasabi ko sa'yo na if hindi ka independent, hindi ka emotionally independent, and financially skilled how to make money, then how are you going to raise a summa cum laude daughter like what you have right now?
That's why sinasabi ko na maraming poverty sa ating bansa dahil nag-aasawa tayo, hindi pa tayo ready financially, di ba? So that's why, tignan mo, nangyari sa akin, kung hindi ako nag-aral mabuti and then I become independent by doing my little business and my own business, di sana ako. How will I be able to take care of my daughter? Especially hindi siya nagbibigay noon kasi nag-aaway kami noon eh.
Right.
And he really didn't help me at that time kasi I sued him. I told him I'll kick him out of the country. Siyempre galit, di ba?
Right.
So, ayan, pag nagyari ganyan, importante yon yung may pera ka, may tinatago ka, or pwede kang maghanap buhay kasi may career, meron kang pinag-aralan, right? So I was able to take care and yung self-reliance na yan ngayon. That's why sinabi ko sa mama ko na I will always be self-reliant daw. So with my daughter again this time, sabi ko, study hard and never depend on any man. Sabi ko, you can marry the rich man, but still you should have your own.
Your own thing, your own self.
Importante. Kahit ano pa, lalo na tayo pag mahihirap lang tayo. Alam mo, tapos yung boyfriend natin, hindi naman gaano kayaman. So, mag-ipon muna kayo. At ikaw, woman, mag-save ka ng marami rin. Yung itatago mo na hindi alam ni husband mo. Yung personal mo as a single woman na mayroon kang paghuhugutan o pagkukunan. Sorry sa Tagalog.
Yeah.
Pagkukunan, di ba? Something happened. So, and having said that, alam mo ba, I'm not very religious, but God never left me alone.
Right, because
So,
you're one of the spiritual person I have known, and you really have that higher understanding about spirituality, and that's why we talk, you know, hour in hour regarding that kind of spirituality values. You know, you may be a very religious people, but they are not doing the righteous thing, you know. So there's so many things about that I avoid talking to. But one thing I love to talk about you and the rest of our friends is really talking about empowerment and how are you going to be able to be independent and self-reliant. And I think with all your experience, you can teach now a lot of moms out there, a lot of couples out there, a lot of them to teach them first before they become they go to that falling in love is to really fall in love to themselves on how to be secure, how to make money, how to do things, and learn ng mga skills na pwede nilang pagkakitaan in the long run na iniwan sila ng husband nila.
Correct. That's why importante yung mga core values nga. Freedom, di ba? Freedom to choose whenever you want to do anything, kahit iwanan ka pa. So, and then yung self-reliance, yung safety. So, importante yung Abrahamic Maslow. Alam mo sa Abrahamic hierarchy of needs, importante talaga sa atin lahat, kompleto kayo ha, yung biological needs mo, dapat mamit. Damit, bahay, of course, the basic is air, water, and food, di ba? Pero aside from that, dapat meron ka ng shelter, kaunti. I mean, may bahay na kayo. And then you can go up to safety needs, yung financial aspects ng safety mo rin. Hindi lang yung safety, yung environment mo, pero yung financial safety mo na meron kang paglalaan if something happens. So always save, 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 save. You know, habang bata pa kayo, mag-save na kayo. At before you even getting married, you should already have good savings. So, paano kayo mag-aasawa na wala pa rin yung biological needs, your physical needs, yung shelter lang. Minsan, mag-aasawa tayo, wala pa tayong bahay.
For that reason, there's a lot of unwanted children that just pop out. And then when the children comes out, that's what we were talking about here, then they give it to the government. Then the government will have problems. And then the government now, they blame the government for their own ignorance.
That's why, yung sabi natin na dapat talagang self-reliant ka. Kasi pag hindi ka self-reliant, hindi ka confident eh. Ako na babae. Kunwari, hindi ako nagtatrabaho. Ang asawa ko lang yung lumalabas. Wala akong kaalam-alam. You know, kasi high school graduate lang ako. I never practiced. I never had any career or job. So, pag yung gumugwapo na yung asawa mo kasi nagiging manager na
The
siya.
insecurity comes.
Then, nakipag-cocktail party ka, nakita mo, ay, ang gaganda nila, tapos ang tatalino nila, tapos napaka-executive nila, looking, mga ganon, di ba? So, then, come again yung self-esteem question. Yung may insecure ka na, doon na nag-aaway ang tao, di ba? So, but if you are self-esteem in your needs, safety needs mo, pero ko, sabi mo, nag-aral ako mabuti, meron akong mga savings, kahit lumayas ka pa, kaya kong mabuhay mag-isa, di ba? So, doon parang tumataas ng needs ng confidence mo. So, andyan na yung loving, yung belongingness. So, dapat, yung belongingness mo, yung pamilya mo, mahal mo pa rin yung pamilya mo kung saan ka galing.
Right.
Kasi, it brings up esteem needs also. Kasi, pag kung wala kang belongingness, wala kang mga kaibigan na nagmamahal sa'yo, o tunay na mga tao nagmamahal sa'yo, pag meron kang nangyayari maganda sa buhay, sino magsasabing, ay, ang galing niya? And who can testify to other people that you are a good person kung wala kang yung belongingness?
Yeah.
So, yun yung mga steps na
You
belongingness.
don't have a set of group of friends.
Yeah.
That's like what they say. Tell me who your friends are, and we'll tell you who
Yeah.
you are.
So, yung
right?
belongingness na yan, pag kompleto ka sa belongingness, yung love needs mo, then yung esteem needs. So, then yung esteem mo. The esteem needs and self-confidence only go up if these three are okay. So, tapos, andyan na yung cognitive needs. Yung cognitive needs na yung mga emotional needs mo, wherein, ano ba yung mga kinalikahan mo, yung mga bad things na tinuro sa'yo o yung mga nakita mo sa environment mo, bad teachings, bad beliefs, bad traditions, yung mga things na is not acceptable for you, na hindi na uso ngayon. So, yan yung cognitive needs mo to be able to assess yung emotional behavior.
Right.
So, yan na yung EQ. Tapos yung aesthetic needs pa, yung gusto mo maganda mga nakikita mo.
Right.
And then yung self-actualization. Magsa-self-actualization ka lang pag kumpleto ka dito.
That's come how your beauty, your health, and your wealth.
Yes. And self-actualization is progressive. Self-actualize na ako ng babae, may naanak na ako. Okay, saya, nag-self-actualization. May asawa na ako,
What next?
self-actualize ako. Next, may business ako konti. I'm actualized kasi I'm independent.
Right.
And I'm respected by my husband and my community. So,
What
yan yung mga
next?
iba bang self. And then, yung self-actualization, pag marami ka nang self-actualize and make you the best version of yourself, yung you're proud of yourself, yan na yung transcendence. That's when advocacy comes. Pag nasa transcendent ka na, yan na yung andun na tayo. I'm sure ikaw nandiyan ka na kasi you have everything. So, you are now in your transcendent.
So that's why now you
right.
really worth being here at Destination
So, yan na yung
Advocacy.
yung universal, tsaka yung philanthropy, na work and benevolence, andyan na. So, pag hindi natin na-kompleto yan,
Everything is not.
believe me, you'll never be happy in your life. Sabi ni Abraham Maslow nga, if you are not able to do the things you're capable of, or you don't even try to do the things that you are capable of at the best that you can be, then you'll never be happy in life. So,
Wow.
paano ka magiging masaya nga?
What makes you extremely happy?
Yeah, what makes me extremely happy is my freedom. My freedom, and then having positive friends, and having a mom who's got always reminding me to have a positive mindset to life, always be prayerful. She's a believer in the miracles of
course.
the person,
Yeah.
the God above there. So, and then ako yung display of love of my two children, that they respect me so much and they say, I will never ask for any other mom. You're the best
But you.
mom that we ever have. And having that, and having friends like you say that you like me, I'm a mentor
I
to
love
you.
you. I love you, Marlene.
So these are the
Yeah.
things, you see, sabi nila, yung influence mo daw sa tao, at saka positive yung feedback
You have
nila.
a global influence. You have a global network. And I have known you for ages, as I told you, ever since from day one I've met you. You're one of the most positive person that I've met through those years. I've seen the death of your first husband. I've seen your lifestyle with your second husband. I've seen your divorce. I've seen your fail. I've seen you take off really high. I've seen your lows and highs. And still you are one of the most positive person. Why? Because you are very self-reliant. You're very self-independent. You have accomplished so much in life. You have a lot of beautiful friends. And that's why I've seen you the most beautiful person inside and out. And you really truly deserve this. World needs to know that Destination Advocacy, you come up to that level where we are into that universal benevolent, or your success in life is when you're already freedom, and you have your freedom of speech, you have your freedom of thoughts, and you have a very positive energy, and you have to pass on that energy to the next generations. So other women and men out there, now here we comes when we help a lot of men, we uplift a lot of men in their morale, because we talk about having this violence against men and women. It is not only women being violated by the men. I've seen men being violated too by the women. And I think you are the right person to talk about that. You never become violent to your husband. Even after you've seen him cheated you, left you, took everything of your finances, everything that you keep in your finances, he took it away. You've never been violent.
You know why? Yeah, my daughter always said, Mama, I see it in movies, I read it in books. When they find out that their husband is cheating, they would scratch them, throw their clothes away on the street and all that, and throw everything on his face. But I didn't. Because you know why? Lagi ko sinasabi, pag walang gustong maging kabit, walang kabit. So women, wag naman kayo magsira ng pamilya. If you are in love with each other, sabihin nyo dan sa lalaki yan, hiwalay muna kayo, then ligawan nyo ako.
Straight to the point.
Straight
Better
to the
be
point.
with the men who are single and free.
Yeah, because you hurt and destroy a family. You destroy the children in there, you know. And that's why before you then, if only I know what I know now.
But I think there's also only thing that I've seen is like the man is never going to go with another woman if there is no really any other very strong reason, because they will stay whatever if they love the person, if they really is in there, if there's something in there, that belongingness of the family. I think the man also will never be there. So a woman like you can also help uplifting man's morale in a way where they should not get married to someone, because love sometimes pag nawala na yung love, nag-divorce, nawala na yung pera, jump out of the window, nag-divorce, di ba? But the most important is, how can you be free when our culture is, they don't talk about it, that kailangan magkaroon ng understanding, both yung relationship, na they have to be together, not just because of the kid. They have to be together, not just because of the religion. They have to be together, not just because of the culture. They have to be together because they want to be together.
Yeah, sabi mo, it has to be love. Pero love, before the love is born, respect eh. Pag
There
yung respect,
should got to be respect
respect,
first.
trust, and then love comes.
Yes.
So pag ang unang nawawala is respect eh. The moment you cheat your wife or your husband, the respect is gone. and then the trust will be gone. So, wala na ring love. Kasi ginawa mo yun eh. So, number one in a relationship is respect.
So I already know what turns you off, really, Marlene. That's why you get divorced. Now is the lack of respect, the
Yes.
broken promises and lies. Number one is the lies.
Yeah.
Actually, how are you going to be able to believe the person after lies and lies?
Yeah, that's why you have to get to know the person you're going to marry. There are 8 stages of relationship, ha? Yung attraction. Huwag yung attraction, punta ng intimacy. Paggising mo, kasi nalasing ka, sino ka? And then nabuntis ka ba? So, magagalit talaga yung guy sa'yo pag pinilit mo siyang
Exactly.
magpakasal siya sa'yo. So, attraction, wag muna. Connection muna. Attraction, then you connect with each other, and then you get the acquaintance, get to acquaint with him. Acquaint means deeper. Get to know who he is, sino yung nanay niya, sino mga magulang niya. Mamaya dyan, mga drug lords yung nanay, pati siya drug lord, di mo kilala. Tapos kung ano ba sila, di ba? It's so important. So acquaintance. So habang nagde-date kayo, magpaligaw kayo, you go out, you speak about who you are, what you are, how you are. You get to know the guy. Hanggang alam mo na kung sino, pati nanay, lolo niya, and everything. Go to see their family. Kasi nakikita mo kung anong pinanggalingan niya. More or less, merong effect kung ano yung mga background niya towards him as a person now, as an adult. So, yon. Tapos, power struggle. Yan na yung, okay, type na kita, gusto ko rin yung background mo, acquainted na ako sa'yo. Power struggle means knowing your values. Respetado ba niya yung values mo? Respetado ba niya yung values ng family mo? Respetado mo ba siya? Are you gonna accept the values and core values? And accept mo ba siya yung mga weaknesses niya and your weaknesses too? So, yun, pag okay na sa inyo, value for value, and then, pwede na siguro kayo kasi sabi mo, ang hilig mo palang lumabas, marami kang barkada, pero pwede ba pag tayo na, wag masyado, at wag ka na mag-iinom, wag ka magsusugal. Boundaries na yun. You have to make your rules. This is what I want you to respect. Yan yung sinasabi kong rules na ire-respect sa'yo. So, andyan na yung ng power struggle, acceptance na, kasi na-accept mo everything. And you better make sure you are committed. So, about acceptance is consistency. Consistent kayo sa mga pinapakita nyo sa isa't isa. And with your words, with your actions, should be congruent. Iba yung, wag yung magsasalita ka, kasi iba naman yung action mo. So, congruent dapat yung salita mo at yung action mo. So, ayan na yung acceptance, di ba? And then, consistency, commitment. Then, intimacy. Doon pa lang kayo pupunta sa kama o mag-sexual pag kompleto na itong 7 above.
Wow.
Diba?
Yeah. I think it is only very rare person who understand that, Marlene. I know you're one of those. I'm +2 in one of that who understand that beyond the recognitions, understanding about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic formula on how to end up in a happy ending relationship. And now, Marlene, maybe your message to a lot of women and men out there that about to get married, who just get divorced, and who are just about to get into that relationship. What can you tell about them? What advice can you give them?
Yeah, aside from you have to know the relationship management, how to manage your relationship in the very beginning. Kasi everything is in the beginning. You know, you can prevent mistake when you are prepared in the very beginning. So, be self-reliant, ha? Yung wag mga boys, mga girls, study first, be steady in your job, have lots of savings. Please naman, gumawa kayo ng bahay muna. Huwag yung renta-renta kasi ang mahal ng renta ngayon. And then if you plan to have kids in the future, better have a savings for your kids, you know. At least planuhin nyo naman yung buhay nyo kasi mahal magpakasal, mahal na. Siyempre, everybody wants to have a nice wedding receptions or a wedding to show off people. Pero kahit simple lang, yung pag-aanak, mahal ang hospital, yung to give birth to kids, and then yung mga pampers and everything, ang mahal. Yung pagkain, tapos yung
day-to-day life.
Day-to-day things in life, electricity, water, everything. Isulat nyo lahat kung saan mapunta yung sahod ninyo at yung savings nyo in case mawalan tayo ng trabaho. With the pandemic, nobody knew that suddenly you don't have a job, suddenly your pay is half, and suddenly you don't have a job, and suddenly you don't have a business.
Exactly.
So, savings daw, sabi nila, savings. And for relationship, always remember there are two things in a deeper type in your relationship. Be mindful of connection and disconnection. Do you want to connect with your wife? Then always ask, ano yung intention mo? Ano yung purpose mo, honey? Ba't mo sinabi to? Ba't mo ginawa to? Intindihin. You have to seek to understand and have unconditional acceptance na sinasabi
Unconditional
mo.
love,
And
yeah.
then yung love, honor, andun pa rin. Yung faith in Him, yung
Respect in him.
discipline sa sarili mo rin, you know, and then yung vision mo kung saan pala talaga kayo pupunta.
Yeah.
You know?
Marlene, you studied modern applied psychology and you have diploma in that. Ecology, NLP in master, NLP ecology. You are a life coach, ecology, and also cognitive behavior therapy in ecology. You're also a founder and mentor for Exponential Empowerment Forum for Gender Equality. Marlene, a lot of our community wanted and needed that kind of services. How are they going to find out, and how can they reach you and ask an advice from you, and how can we help them? Can you please let our televiewers know
Yes.
how can we get in touch with you?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm with DCRJ 810 AM every Saturday, 12 to 1. I give free advices there. And also I have an upcoming workshop for empowering women exponentially through emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and mindfulness. And then ituturo ko lahat sa inyo how to manage your own behavior, your relationship management, yung communication skills with emotional intelligence, and then yung self-actualization, how to be self-actualized in life. So it's in December 4, that's a Saturday. It's a 4-hour intensive workshop. And if you want to get in touch, then get in touch with Captain Mora, with me. On Facebook, my name is Marlene, MARLYNKRAGH, on Facebook, or you call 0977-174-8384.
Dear Marlene, it has been very informative for you this weekend at Destination Advocacy. Can you please tell our televiewers on where to find you in your parting words?
All right, so yeah, I'm on Facebook, Marlene Krag, MARLYNKRAGH, and add me on your Facebook, and all message me there. And yeah, my number, I gave them already, but my number is 0977-174-8384 if you want to be coached or mentored. And my parting words, of course, is especially to the women, because women are the makers of men. It's in our lap that we make men. All right? Really. So to you women, all right, everyone needs to be showered with love, with respect, and with understanding. Pag hindi yan mapunta, wag na lang kayong mag-relationship. Anyway, so women, it's not all about red roses, chocolates, having LV, Hermes, Chanel, Pradas, and high heels and red lipsticks. It's all about more than that, meaning you should make yourself feel important, and you should be heard, you should be validated, you should be dignified by your boyfriends, and you should be appreciated, and you should be feeling important to them, and be enriched and fulfilled. Sabi ni Oprah nga, own your power and be the best version of yourself.
Ayan, napakinggan niyo po ang makabuluhang talakayan ngayong araw. Sa susunod na namang Sabado, sa ganito pa ring oras, alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon, ako po si Captain Irene Mora para sa Destination Advocacy. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik at pagsubaybay sa Destination Advocacy kasama si Captain Irene Mora. Pakinggan ang muli nitong pagsasahimpapawid sa susunod na Sabado dito lamang sa Sunshine Radio.
Mga kapartners, walang rasong maging blind kung paano maging safe sa gitna ng lumalaganap na COVID-19. Pero dahil concerned kami sa inyo, ipinaalala pa rin namin sa inyo how to stay healthy today. Para stay safe kung saan tayo nakatira, narito ang ilang tips. Regular na maghugas ng kamay, gumamit ng sabon at tubig, maaari ring gumamit ng sanitizer na may least 60% alcohol. Inirekomenda din ang paghugas ng kamay sa loob ng 20 segundo. Regular ding linisan ang mga gamit na palaging hinahawakan, gaya ng upuan, work desk, doorknob at iba pa gamit ang disinfectant. Maaari ring iwasan ang mga matataong lugar kung lumabas ng bahay. Iwasang lumapit o makalapit sa mga taong umuubo o bumabahing. Keep distance at least 6 feet mga kapartners. Sa mga hindi feeling well naman, eto ang tips para sa inyo. Manatili na lang sa bahay at tumawag sa inyong doktor o local health professional. Gumamit rin ng nakahiwalay na utensils. Mas mainam din na mag-self-quarantine. Mas maganda ang gumamit ng face mask. Kung hindi maiwasang lumabas, takpan ang bibig kung nababahing o inuubo. Mas maganda rin gumamit ng tissue at agad itong itapon at huwag kalimutang maghugas ng kamay pagkatapos. Tandaan, lumalaganap ito kung